Hare Krishna. Haribo. Thank you. So again, thank you all so much for coming. The one-day retreat. Y'all had a good morning? Y'all look bright-faced. Happy. Sundari cook, nice? Yeah. We want to give a big thanks to Sundari and to Zach and Madhva who are cooking the feast today. Now they're going to be starting right now. They're cooking the lunch feast. And a big thank to Tiffany. Is Tiffany here? Where is she? She's hiding. She's running around. There she is. Let's give her a big round of applause. Tiffany, a yoga teacher training graduate who she's an amazing organizer, actually. She organized all the different service opportunities and amazingly detailed list. I caught a look at her list. Very good. Thank you. And thank you to all of you who came. Did everybody love Raghu's? Who doesn't love Raghu's class? Raghu will make you laugh and cry in the same second. If you want to spend a few more days with Radhanath, he's doing an advanced asana and storytelling training here, and you can actually just sign up for the first 3 days just with Raghu. So if you want to, you can talk to Sham or Diana in the back. It starts tomorrow. So cancel your plans this week. Just stay over. We'll take care of you. We also would like to, where's Ira? Is she here? No. Where is she? She hiding? There she is. So it is her birthday today. So in the Bhakti Center tradition, we're just going to sing a Hare Krishna to her. So with your heart, she is just an amazing soul. She's been coming to the Bhakti Center forever, and she's an incredible teacher as well as just a very deep practitioner. So very grateful for everything that you do here at the Bhakti Center, and also she helps Diana to run Stanton Street Yoga. So you guys ready? Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna dear Ira, Hare Krishna to you. Hariva. Thank you so much. So hopefully the hearts have become fertile. I know that Radhanath Swami always speaks that gratitude is the soil. If you have a grateful heart, it's the soil that can absorb these messages. And so we are just so unbelievably grateful to be able to spend this beautiful day, this Mother's Day, with His Holiness Radhanath Swami, who's going to be speaking on the Divine Mother. And, Radhanath Swami doesn't need any introduction. Most of you know him, but maybe there's a few that don't know him so well. He's written his first part of his journey home in a book called The Journey Home, and has lived a life, in my mind, of the journey within. Actually, the journey within started after that, where he's just done so many incredible things outside, but also he's done so many incredible things inside, and his character, his qualities inspired thousands of people, and inspires this whole Bhakti Center to live a life of purity and dedication to the divine. And so we're very, very grateful to have him here. We pray that we can open our hearts and our ears to hear this beautiful message. And without further ado, let's welcome His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Haribo.
Ajnantimidandasya Jnananjanachalakhaya Chakshurun militam jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juthapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sakarajhatam Sahakana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahakana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Pallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Thira Panachari Jamuna Tira Panachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Welcome to the Bhakti Center. Today, I was asked to speak on the subject of Mother's Day, because it is Mother's Day. Such days that we observe, birthdays, Mother's Days, anniversary days, holy days, are a special opportunity to appreciate, to take time to really appreciate, offer our gratitude, and try to reciprocate, not only for the day, but to make a commitment of reciprocation for what we have received. Actually, I have no plan what I'm going to speak today, so I'm just going to speak anyway. When I see Rukmini Devi, who's like a universal mother for everyone who's ever come in contact with her, especially me and Gorvani. By divine arrangements, appeared from her divine womb. But I'm thinking about the particular mother that I took birth from 67 and a half years ago. And how I totally broke her heart. I was the pride of her life, the joy of her life, along with my little brothers. She gave everything to me. My whole childhood, she single-handedly cooked a wonderful feast every night for dinner. Her 3 sons never once said thank you. It wasn't cool. That was in the 50s. We never said thank you. We were just too busy playing. We just expected that's what she's supposed to do. She cleaned the house, she washed the clothes, she cooked for us, she packed lunch for us, made breakfast. A girl, her father died, her mother was an invalid, her elder sister was, what can I say, she was abused in an alleyway and ended up the rest of her life in a mental hospital. And when she was hardly a teenager, she had to maintain her sister and mother. So she was accustomed to selflessly serving. But when you're a child, especially a boy child, you're just so into yourself and your friends, and all your challenges to succeed and to be great and all that stuff. Huh? What, Rukmini, what are you? I believe you, actually. And my father struggled and struggled, went through bankruptcy twice in the 1950s, and could hardly make a living. My mother was scrimping and saving and cutting little coupons from newspapers to get 2-cent discounts. And yet she saved enough to support her mother. and her younger sister sometimes. But she was always, but never said thank you. Never even recognized. In fact, if she got in the way of what we wanted as children, we just thought she was an impediment to our happiness. Because she wanted what was best for us, and we wanted what was worst for us. So that's kind of the dynamic between a mother and a child here in America especially. And then came the 60s, the 1960s, where there was an official declaration of independence from our parents. It was a cultural revolution. It was a war against the elder generation. Everything that they held sacred, we considered to be rejected. The music was so loud you couldn't hear your heart, what it was wanted to say. And we saw, there was war in Vietnam, and there was the civil rights, so there was so much prejudice and so much hatred and so much hypocrisy, materialism. We were revolting against an imbalanced, misdirected system. But it was especially targeted toward our own parents, who we thought represented that system. One thing I knew 100% for sure, she loved me. But I thought she just didn't understand. My father too. Then when I was a teenager, I told him one day, I'm going to Europe for a vacation. And they said, but you have no money. What kind of vacation is this? Because, their idea of a vacation is you save up for it and everything. And I only decided to go the day before I went. It's a pilgrimage kind of vacation. I said, I promised I'll be back in 2 months in time for college. Because that was between semesters. And I never came back. I still haven't come back. That was 1970. Mothers, when you're a teenager, and I was always very small and very skinny. I kind of still am. But here I am going to another country with one friend who they thought was pretty crazy and who thought was a bad influence on me. And they were just counting the days for me to come back, worrying, and 2 months passed. I made one phone call to them in well over 2 years, one phone call. That was from London. I was away for about a month. 2 months passed. 3 months passed. 4 months passed. They had no way to contact me. And I didn't know what to say in my contact with them. finally, after not knowing whether I was dead or alive, after about 4.5 months, they got a letter, an aerogram. It said, I have decided to look for God and to see how other cultures view God and life. So I have no money. I'm not with my friend anymore. I'm hitchhiking to India. But please don't worry, because so don't waste your time worrying, because God is with me. And that was it. And I said, I can't write letters much because I hardly ever see a post office. And you can't write to me because I have no address. I'm always traveling. They looked at the back of the envelope, and it was postmark Iran. Then another couple years passed. I was so out of touch. I was really looking for God, and I loved them, and I knew they were suffering, but I just had to do this. And the more I was in that state of understanding, going within myself, the more I became sensitive. And at one point, they could send me a letter. I told them to send it to the American Express Company in New Delhi. And I picked it up like a year later or something after it arrived. And my mother was crying in the letter. She said, "What are you eating?" And no, actually it wasn't. That was when I was in Vrindavan. That was the first time I was in Vrindavan, and I said, "You can send to this address." This is about 1.5 years. He said, "What are you eating and what are you wearing?" And the worries of a mother. I didn't want to tell her. I was begging door to door for some chickpeas. Or some raw wheat and roti. Then when I came home after all these years, she had a little library in her kitchen of vegetarian cookbooks because she knew I was vegetarian. She wanted to make me happy. So I broke her heart. But that's when I actually understood the nature of a mother's love. Totally unconditional. There was never the slightest question in her mind, what's in it for me? It's always, what can I do for my child? And if she couldn't do it, she was just praying constantly for the well-being of her child. It took me becoming a Swami, a sadhu, a renunciate, and all these things to appreciate a mother's love. And to show gratitude. And in my own way, and according to my own spiritual principles I followed, I did try to reciprocate. when she came to India with my father to see what we were doing, it was the first time she ever saw me giving a lecture. And she said to my father, "That's our son's body, but there's someone else inside of it." And she was crying, crying, and she was so proud. When my brothers would have children, she would insist with my father too that the child be baptized in Hare Krishna temple by me. And all the grandchildren. And I had to kind of make up the ceremony. They were timeless traditions, but I had to kind of put them together to look like a baptism. It was in Tucson, Arizona, because that's where my elder brother lived. A little girl was born. And we brought her before the altar. She's a little infant. My brother's wife is Catholic. My brother is Jewish. How are we going to bless this child? My mother said, "In the Hare Krishna temple." Your brother's a priest, he should do. So I gave a little talk, and then I said, at the end, I said, the blessings of God upon this child is very much connected to how all the relatives invoke the blessings from their hearts. And in our tradition, we invoke those blessings by chanting God's names. And I taught him the Maha Mantra. I said, now everybody, my aunts, my uncles, they're all there in this temple. And I'm just sitting on the floor with this little baby. I said, everyone raise your arms. And my mother interjected. She said, I know how to do it. I'll show everyone else. She said, you just watch me and do what I'm doing. When the kirtan started, my mother was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and my aunts and my uncles and my father and my brother and my sister-in-law and everybody was Hare Krishna. Just pouring. I said, the louder you do, the more blessings will come on this little baby. It was tumultuous. It's very deep and devotional. Then my mother said, give her a Krishna name. That was not rehearsed. And I said, are you sure? And everyone said, yes, yes, give her a Krishna name. Her name was Sarah. So we just added another part. Said her name will be Saraswati. And after that, my elder brother would call her Swati because he thought Sarah was the material part and Swati was the spiritual part. I said, no, they're both spiritual. And I remember once I was sitting with her and she's just the two of us, my mother, and she cried. She said, I'm so proud of you because you're doing so much good for other people. I said, I'm so proud of you. That's a mother's heart. Even I broke it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, still, she was just open to be proud. And I often cite Gaurvani. Do you all know Gaurvani? He came to a pilgrimage that we have every year in Pune. And there was about, that year there was about 4,000 people. We go to somebody's house for 4 days. And the family takes care of 4,000 people for 4 days. They have a big backyard. They have a big house. It can fit maybe 100, but everybody else is staying at other people's houses, and it's everywhere. Well, we just 4 days of kirtans and talks. And they would arrange all the prasad, the food, and there would be dramas and plays and lectures and seminars and kirtans and just over and over again, those things. And Gaurvani really charmed the hearts of everyone. At that time was the first time this community had ever met him. And at the very end, there's a session where everyone's there, and some of the speakers, Yamuna Devi used to come to that regularly, and Tina Tarini. So it's a closing session. And we just say thank you to everyone. Give some closing comments. Gaurvani, he talked about how when he was younger, he went astray. And he said, I only came back on the power of the prayers of my mother. And then in front of everybody, he started to cry. There was silence. And 4,000 people, let me do a mathematical calculation. That means 8,000 eyes. They were all crying. Everyone was crying. I was crying. He was emotional. And he ended his talk by saying, never underestimate the prayers of a mother. And Rukmini is here. Today the talk is entitled I forgot. Divine Mother? So where does that motherly love originate? How can we connect with that motherly love, be grateful for it, and reciprocate with it? In every great spiritual path, those that believe in a supreme being, that supreme being is sarva karana karanam, the cause of all causes. Janmadyasya yataha, from whom everything emanates, the origin of all that exists. Aham bija pratapita, Bhagavad Gita tells. The Supreme Being is the original father and mother of all living beings. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. All material, all spiritual worlds, everyone and everything has its origin in God. In the Vedic literatures, throughout, the basic principle of all true yoga paths is the interaction between the male and female aspects of that one Supreme Being. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikratir Ladini Shaktirashma. This verse tells that the absolute truth is Advaita, is one. But that Supreme One, forever, eternally, is manifesting as two. Radha Krishna, Sitaram Lakshmi Narayan, Bhuvaraha. In the context of this cosmic manifestation, Parvati Shiva. Male and female principle. And the love that is shared between the one Supreme with himself or herself, depending on which perspective, is the origin of all love. Shakti means the energetic source, and Shaktiman is energetic source, and Shakti is the divine energy. This Shakti, the divine feminine aspect of the Supreme, is not only the original source, but is forever the source of compassion, forgiveness, and love. In the Bhakti tradition, Radha is the supreme reservoir of love, the supreme possessor of love, and Krishna is the supreme object of love. Just like the sun and the sunshine, they cannot be separated. The sunshine is the Shakti of the sun. So it's that feminine divinity, Radha, that actually gives us the means by which we could be connected to our original love, the supreme nature that is within each of us. The path of bhakti is especially a process, a lifestyle, a culture, a way of speaking, feeling, willing, acting in a way that we are in harmony with grace, the feminine aspect of the Supreme. And how that grace is manifested in our life, and how to show our gratitude and reciprocate. In the yoga culture, the earth is Bhumi, the divine feminine who comes into this world to be our mother. And she's actually a person. The greatest, most self-realized souls have understood this, have realized this, that the earth is a person, Bhumi. The divine spirit of Sri Radha is manifest in the earth. Just like you and me, we have a body, but we're the spirit within the body. We're the conscious source within the body. It is true that the soul, najayate mariyate va kadachet. The soul is eternal, it's undying, and it's never born. The soul is never this body. The soul is in the body. But if you want to show respect to someone's soul, you do it through the medium of the body. It's just like when Radhanath Prabhu speaks later, someone will come and give his body a garland. Because he's in that body, so his body he's interacting with the world through that body. So that body, as long as the soul is within the body, it's a medium of life. It's a medium in its highest principle to exchange love, to be an instrument of Krishna's love. So similarly, the earth is the body of Bhumi Devi. And in that body, as a mother, she's providing everything for us. She's providing air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat. She's provided all the elements of the body itself. Our brain, all of our organs, our power to see, our power to think. Everything is a gift of Mother Earth through the elements of Mother Earth. I often tell that little story about my own mother when it was her birthday and my father forgot and my brothers forgot and of course I forgot. I played all day. It was in August 15th, so school's out, so I'm just playing all day, and I come back at night, and my mother was like, nobody cares. She didn't say anything. She had the dinner and everything made, and somehow or other, I think I saw a letter on the kitchen cabinet from my aunt saying happy birthday. I thought, it's her birthday. So what am I going to do? And I ran outside and I went to her little rose garden. And we just had a tiny backyard and there was just like 3 rose bushes. And there was only like 1 rose growing on it. And it had all thorns on the branch. I ripped the rose off her rose bush. And was hoping she didn't know I stole it from her. Now there's nothing left in her garden except thorns. I stole the only rose. And I went and I ran inside and I gave it to her and I said, happy birthday. And she cried with such happiness, and she put it to her forehead, and she put it to her nose, and she put it to her heart, and then she put it to her forehead again, and then her nose, and then her heart. And she said, thank you, thank you. And then she said, it's not the thing that gives anything value. It's the love in which it's given. She said, if you were to give me a diamond ring or a pearl necklace, it could not have more value than this rose that you stole from my garden. Sometimes she got philosophical. Because he said, she taught me this. That things could give some sense of stimulation to the mind and senses, but things can never, ever, ever touch the heart. Only love. To give love and to receive love can touch the heart. And real happiness is a state of heart. So what's really valuable in this world is not all the stuff people are fighting about. It's love. And the origin of that love is God's love. And that love is coming to us through the feminine aspect of God. We're speaking, we're seeing, we're eating, we have the power to digest. Everything is a gift of Mother Earth. In the Yoga Sutras, not only is the earth considered sacred as Bhumi, the Divine Mother, but so are sacred rivers. Mother Ganga, Mother Yamuna. Mother is Mayi in Sanskrit, or Mata. Yamuna Mayi. Godavari Mayi. Because these sacred rivers in India, without the rivers, there's no possibility of life. That's the water source. In most places, there's a monsoon, which lasts a few months, and then no rain. And the only water that sustains is the rivers that are flowing. They quench our thirst. They nourish all the crops in the fields. They clean our bodies. But most of all, when we understand, when we recognize that this is God's grace, this is Mother Ganges. And how do you worship Mother Ganges? You take a little water from the river, and with a sincere intent and a prayerful heart, pray, Mother Ganga, in my gratitude to you, I offer you this water as a gesture of my devotion. And you put the water. And I've done this so many tens and thousands of times in holy rivers. And it's really amazing. Sometimes, if you go to Navadvip or Varanasi in the rainy season, Mother Ganga is over a mile wide with just water flowing. And how much water fits in my hands? Am I thinking, Mother Ganga, I am so great. So that you will survive, I'm giving you this water. She doesn't need the water. I'm taking it from her and giving it back to her. But she does need our love. Similar to a mother with an infant baby. The mother is completely maintaining the little baby child. The baby cannot survive without the love of the mother. But if the little baby smiles, there's nothing that could make the mother more happy. All she wants is love. Giving love and receiving love. When I'm offering this water to Mother Ganga, if I'm proud, if I'm thinking, just see, my hands are bigger than that person's hands. Yes. There might be some big military person next to me in the river going with giant hands, offering. And then there might be a little child, 4 years old, with tiny little hands. Does it make any difference to Mother Ganges? We're taking it from her and she has plenty. But it does. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta prayachjati taraham bhaktu paridam ashnami prayatatmana. Krishna tells in Gita, if you offer me even a single leaf, a flower. He doesn't say flowers in the plural, he says a flower. Maybe a dandelion. A little water, a fruit. If it's offered with love, not only does Krishna accept it, but he feels forever indebted to that offering of love. How much love is that? We're taking it from him or from her. We're offering. She has limitless quantities of it. We're offering a little tiny bit that we've stolen from her. And she's forever indebted. That's what type of mother our original mother is, the mother of all mothers, who empowers our immediate biological and social mothers. The origin of that love and its fullness and its completeness is in the feminine divinity, the Divine Mother. So bhakti, if we want to simplify it to a very, very basic idea, it's being grateful for that water that's sustaining our life, and then with a sincere, loving heart, reciprocating. Real gratitude is not just a feeling, it's something that's reciprocated. And we offer that water back. Thank you. It's not the water, it's the love in which the water is offered, the gratitude that gives that little palmful of water limitless value. Tulsi is a little plant that we have in our temple. Every temple has. In fact, in India, almost every home has a Tulsi plant. Tulsi is an expansion of Brinda, an expansion of Radha, the Divine Mother. The earth, the plants, the trees, the rivers, we see them all as expansions, manifestations of Divine Mother. And Srila Prabhupada would cite that a man should see every female as his mother. That means to have that level of respect. Lord Chaitanya. How many have heard of Lord Chaitanya? Please raise your hands. Because I'm kind of new here, so I don't know who you are to an extent. But Lord Chaitanya is Krishna who appears with the love of Radha. We were quoting a particular verse where the Absolute is one and they're forever two, to reciprocate love. And that love is the origin of all the love that's dormant within the heart of every eternal soul. It's just forgotten for many of us. And yoga is to revive, awaken that consciousness of who we truly are and the love that we're seeking in its fullness. Krishna and Radha become one again in the form of Lord Chaitanya. The Vedic literatures over 5,000 years ago, many times prophesies his coming. He will have a beautiful golden complexion. And Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna with the love, with the compassion of Sri Radha, tasting it, gives it freely, without discrimination of who is fit or unfit. And the means by which he's giving is this Sankirtan, through this culture of chanting God's names. So Lord Chaitanya, after he was revealing his Sankirtan movement in a place called Navadvip in Bengal, he wanted to share this message, share this grace throughout all of India. So he became a sannyasi, a Swami, and left his home to live just sleeping on floors. Simplest possible life. He was giving this ecstatic love of God to every type of category of human beings he would come in contact with, to animals, to trees. And once in Puri, he revealed his heart. He said, whatever love I have, whatever devotion I have, whatever good qualities or character I have that's influencing others, it's only because I received it from my mother, Sachi Devi. He also broke her heart when he left home. Sometimes we do that. He broke his mother's heart when he left home. But he left home so that he can share this message with the whole world. And he reciprocated her with her in the most intimate way on a spiritual platform. And he gave all credit to his mother. He's the greatest scholar. He's the greatest renunciate. He's the greatest teacher. He's a great avatar. And he's telling that whatever I have, it's only by the mercy of my mother. She fed me when I was tiny. She loved me when I was tiny. Her devotion to God is what I imbibed in my heart. In this way, he's teaching us how to truly, deeply be grateful for the gifts we receive. And whenever Sachi Devi would, after he took sannyas and left, whenever Sachi, his mother, would cook, she would actually see him with her eyes coming and eating the food. And because she was so humble, she was thinking that it was some sort of dream or some sort of hallucination. But it was actual. Lord Chaitanya sent a message with one of his devotees, Damodar Pandit, go to my mother and tell her, when she sees me there eating the food, I'm there. And he even told Damodar Pandit to say, on this date you cook this, this, and this, and on this date you cook this. Be assured, I'm always with you. Whenever my mother is giving her motherly love, I am with her. Because spiritual love is not limited to geographical conditions. It's not even limited by time. Reciprocation of the soul for God. And with Bhagavan, as the medium, the Supreme is the medium, the reciprocations of souls with each other are forever. On the spiritual platform, when we're feeling separation from someone with love, we're actually together. And when we're feeling union with someone, we're together. Death cannot separate us on the spiritual level. Because wherever there's a consciousness of our own eternal relationship with Krishna, with God, it awakens the love that is our deepest potential. And when that love comes from the soul, it's forever. Nothing can separate it. When we think of a person who has died with love, when we are spiritually awakened, we are together. If our loved ones in India and we're in New York City, we're together. Because it's the love, the soul is not limited, that actually is the connector. This is a simple example of Lord Chaitanya. He was so humble. Whatever he did for others, he never ever took credit himself. He gave all credit to others. In this case, his mother. I remember our beloved Guru, Srila Prabhupada, he left India when he was 69 years old, and he had 40 rupees, which was equal to less than $7. When he got 38 days in a cargo ship, he ended up in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you ever been there? That's where he started his movement, in Butler, Pennsylvania, because that's somehow the only place he could go. And he couldn't even exchange the rupees, because in those days nobody wanted rupees. And then he came to New York City, and Sally Agarwal, a lady, gave him enough money for a bus to New York, Greyhound. And he struggled, practically homeless, just going from place to place. And after a few years, he had tens and thousands of followers and over 100 temples and communities and schools. And he never took credit for anything. He'd give all credit to his followers. You have all done it. He gave all credit to his guru. He gave all credit to Radha and Krishna. This is greatness. Greatness is gratefulness. When you're grateful for something, you don't take credit for it. This ego of I am the doer is a symptom of a lack of gratitude. Mother Ganga, I'm giving you this water. Because of me, you are so great. Here. Some people do it like that. But it's total out of touchness with reality. When you're offering, you're humble, you're seeing all the water around you. Because of you, I'm alive. Spirit spiritually, emotionally, physically. I want to show my gratitude by offering what you've given me with love. That's all anyone could do in this world. How could we not be grateful to Mother Earth? How could we not be grateful to God, to Krishna, the creator, sustainer of everything that exists? And if we actually have that attitude of gratitude, then you'll be grateful to everyone who's helping, anyone who does anything. We see in great saintly people, they're even grateful to their enemies. Because of you, I've realized what I'm not supposed to be doing. Because you've hurt me so bad, I have such good realization that I never want to hurt anybody like that. Because you have betrayed me, and I know the pain of it. You've taught me that I'll never betray another person. Because you've made me so miserable. You've helped me to turn to God like a baby crying for a mother. In this way, when we have an attitude of gratitude, we learn to take shelter of the higher power and understand how we are dependent on that higher power. I think it was in 1976, it was the 200th anniversary of the United States of America. Independence Day. 4th of July. With all of, I think Macy's does fireworks here in New York City. So I remember Prabhupada heard about this Independence Day and 4th of July. It's the day, the Declaration of Independence. Srila Prabhupada really loved America because there was, certain principles that America is based on that he considered so sacred. The freedoms that are constitutionally given. Oftentimes they're not practiced. Even by the governments that are supposed to protect them. But in that year, he said, write an article for our Back to Godhead magazine. And he said what the title of the article should be. Declaring our dependence on God. The Declaration of Dependence. Because, and I learned these things from Radhanath Prabhu, when we actually declare, not just by saying ki jai, but in the way we live, in the way we treat other people, in the way we respond to both apparent negative and positive experiences, pleasure, pain, honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, success, failure, victory, defeat, heat, cold, health, disease. When we actually depend on, take shelter and depend on the supreme higher power, which we are dependent on, recognizing that, the more we depend on God, the more we're actually independent. We're independent from illusion, we're independent from suffering, we're independent from death. So he gave credit. That's from a spiritual perspective, from a yoga perspective, that is how great we are. How we have no ahankar, false ego. We don't have this pathetic craving to have to prove ourselves. Because Krishna's already proven himself, and we're happy with that. We just want to be an instrument of that, and we're willing to be courageous. We're willing to take every risk. We're willing to do everything to be an instrument of that love. And give credit to the giver of that love. I remember Srila Prabhupada, he started this movement single-handedly, and they asked, why don't you name the movement after yourself? He said, because I haven't done anything. Krishna did everything. I'm just a servant of the servant of the servant. So here, there's buildings named after people. But for enlightened souls, we see wherever this ego to prove ourselves better than others, it's a very diseased condition of consciousness. And wherever there is an awakening of love, there's such an inner satisfaction, we just don't need that. If the world wants to recognize us, that's fine. But we don't keep it for ourselves. We are honest. That recognition is for everyone that's helped. It's for my mother and my father who allowed me to be whatever I am. It's for my guru. It's for God. It's for Krishna. That type of gratitude is reality. The Divine Mother appeared as Sita. Radhanath is very, very expert at dramatically narrating the Ramayana. I've heard sometimes. You laugh, you cry. Who said like that? Was it Birbhajarama in his introduction? Or was it you? Jagadiidhari. He makes people cry and laugh simultaneously. But in Ramayana, the Divine Mother appeared with the Divine Father as Sitaram. And although Mother Earth is all-powerful, she allows herself to be completely vulnerable to all of us. And when the Supreme Mother of the spiritual realm descends to this earth, she also allows herself to be vulnerable. So there's the story of Ravana. Ravana was such an egomaniac. Everything was about himself. He was the personification of selfishness. He wanted to be the controller, the enjoyer, and the proprietor. And he could not tolerate anybody else taking credit for anything. If somebody else did it, he wanted the credit. And if he did it, he demanded the credit. And that disease grew to such an inflamed state. And just by hearing about the beauty of Sita, the wife of Ram, he could not tolerate that Ram has Sita. She must be mine. So by very duplicitous methods, he kidnapped Sita. Sita could have burned him to ashes with her glance in a second if she wanted to, but she just went along with it. And she appeared helpless. That was his illusion. He's thinking he's stealing Sita. He wanted to exploit. And then there was Hanuman, the master of yogis. The greatness of Hanuman is not the unbelievable asanas that he can perform. He could do any asana. And he never gets old either. The greatness of Hanuman is not the strength he exhibited. The true greatness of Hanuman is his love, and how his love was expressed through seva, through service. Ahoitaki apradiyata. Bhakti is loving service that is unmotivated by selfishness or egoism, and unmotivated and whatever, unconditional. Whether it's easy, whether it's difficult, we try our best because it's right. When Hanuman found out that Ravana stole Sita, he was willing to fight an entire battle. He was willing to do things that nobody else could ever imagine doing. And his power wasn't from his physical strength. His power was from his love. Ravana fought a whole war to keep Sita for himself. Hanuman jumped over an ocean, 800 miles. When he got over the ocean, and there were so many tests, but I only have 1 minute left. So many tests getting over that ocean, which are very, very instructive and very valuable, and your life will never be the same if you hear them, but we don't have time. When he came there, he saw Sita was, she would not, no matter how much money, no matter how much she was threatened, nothing could divert her attention from her love for Ram. And actually her love for every living being, because she's the mother of all beings. She's the mother of Ravana, this horrible person. His own mother, he wants to rape her and exploit her and enjoy her, and he's threatening her, and he's so terrible. And she's just sitting under an Ashok tree crying. And Hanuman saw it like that, and he saw how Ravana was harassing her, abusing her in such terrible ways. If you don't succumb to my will, by the end of this year, I will drink your blood and eat your flesh. And he used to do that too. You know, these days people give threats, but you say, ah. But he did it. And Hanuman's watching this in a secret place. And he came before Sita. And Sita was crying. It's a beautiful story. Hanuman gave Sita Ram's message. Ram is coming for you. And he sent me this ring just to show you that I'm really his messenger. And Sita had a little jewel. And she said, give this to Ram so he knows that you've met me, and tell him that my heart is 100% at all times meditating upon him with love. So he did his mission, but he wanted to do something more. He could have just went back. But he started making all kinds of noise. And Ravana, what is that? They said, it's a monkey. Ravana said, kill that monkey. So he sent some people, and Hanuman fought them and was victorious. And then Ravana sent entire armies. And Hanuman made him, he was a yogi, he could make himself big or small as he liked, and he defeated the entire army. Then Ravana sent his own son, Indrajit, who was very, very powerful, with an army. And Hanuman was winning, but then he was thinking, I want to meet Ravana face to face. So he allowed himself to be tied up and brought right before Ravana, and Ravana was insulting him. And Hanuman was very polite to Ravana at the beginning. He said, just give Sita back, and Ravana will be your, and you will live happily ever after. But if you kidnapped Sita, and you want to keep her for yourself, God's consort, everything is going to be destroyed. I'm giving you a chance. Just give her back. Ravana was insulted. No one talks to me like that. He said, monkeys are proud of their tails. Wrap his tails up with flammable cloth and light it. Because Hanuman was tied up. And drag him through all the streets so all the citizens see him in a pathetic, miserable state. And let his tail burn and burn and burn till he's dead, publicly. And Hanuman was thinking, this is a wonderful opportunity. He was smiling. And they, huge volumes of cloth, they soaked in oil, and they wrapped it around his tail and lit it on fire, and brought him into the streets, and in front of everyone, they were criticizing him, they were beating him, they were insulting him, and his tail was burning, and everyone was going, cheering. And then Hanuman, he just made himself a little smaller, did some asana to make himself smaller, contracted himself. And he slipped out of the ropes and then jumped to the rooftop and touched the roof with his tail. The entire building went on fire. And monkeys like to jump. He jumped to the next rooftop. His tail was blazing. After a few minutes, almost the entire city was a blazing, uncontrollable fire. And Ravana was beyond his control. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Ravana lit that fire with his own hands. It was the fire that he put on Hanuman's tail that burned down his entire kingdom. This is a graphic, historical example of what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. For every action, there's an equal corresponding reaction. Or in Vedic terms, karma. Do unto others what you want them to do to you, and don't do to others what you would not want anyone to do to you. That's a golden rule which is foundational to all cultures. If you cause someone harm unnecessarily, that harm inevitably will come back to you. If you do good for another, that good will inevitably, sometime or other, in this birth or a future birth, come back to you. And if you illuminate a person's heart, your own heart is illuminated in that process. So the very fire that Ravana put on his tail came back to Ravana, as the worst nightmare of his life. Everything was burning. And then Hanuman, he just went on top of a mountain, and he could have a loud voice if he wanted. He called out, Ravana, I am just a very tiny little humble servant of the servant of the servant of Ram. And this is what I can do to you. Give back Sita, and Ram will be your friend. Otherwise, Ram himself will come here, and everything you have will be gone. And then saying, Jai Ram, Hanuman jumped in the ocean and put his tail fire out. And then he went back and told Ram the whole story and gave the little jewel and the message of Sita. Actually, the favorite part of the story is coming up, but on another day. The story of Vibhishan is something that's so deep in my heart, how it has affected me. Ravana's brother was trying to talk sense into Ravana. He was such an incredible personality. So this is Mother's Day. Sita's the Divine Mother. Bhagavad Gita tells that every one of us in this world, we have an exploitative tendency and we have a devotional tendency. The devotional tendency is our original spiritual nature, and the ego creates this exploitative, egoistic, selfish tendencies. One is like Ravana, and the other is like Hanuman. Hanuman was willing to do everything and anything, and he never took credit. He gave all credit to Ram. He gave all credit to Sita. He gave all credit to everyone else around him. And Ravana could not tolerate anybody but himself getting all credit. That's the difference between spiritual and material, Hanuman and Ravana. One wanted to enjoy Sita for himself, and Hanuman simply wanted to bring Sita to Ram, where she will be happy. It's the very basis of spiritual ecology, the idea of environmentalism. It's the very basis of how we deal with money. Money is wealth, fortune. Lakshmi is Sita, the goddess of fortune. If we exploit money for selfish, sinful purposes, it's like Ravana. That money is Sita, personified. If we use it for as instruments of God's grace, for compassion to others, then we're like Hanuman. Even our abilities are fortune. Whatever abilities we have are blessings of Mother Sita. If we use them arrogantly, we're responding to the Ravana side within us. If we use them with humility, and that humility makes us so courageous. No one was more courageous than Hanuman. And no one was more humble than Hanuman. So Mother's Day is a day to contemplate and appreciate all the gifts we have from our biological mothers, from our teacher mothers, from Mother Earth, from Mother Rivers, and ultimately Mother Radha, Sita, one person, different names. And to reciprocate. whether we tear a rose off our mother's rose bush, or whether we manage the Bhakti Center, or excavate the Super Soul Farm, or raise our children as caretakers of God's love. Whatever we do, as an offering of love, is true yoga. I wish you happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Should I go away or do something? Janavi's gonna sing? Okay.
Let's thank His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj one more time. So now we're going to have some kirtan. Janavi is going to come and lead the kirtan, and before we have a wonderful mother, our dancing mother. Her name is Julie. We're going to ask Julie to come in and give us a little dance instruction for this kirtan. Welcome, Julie.
Hi, everybody. So Rukmini, when I was asked to do this service, I was thinking about Rukmini's son Gauravani, which Raja already mentioned, and that most of us know, and his beautiful song "Come Dance with Me." And he quotes that poem where he says, "Every child knows God, not the God of do's and don'ts, but the God that only says 4 words and keeps repeating them over and over. Come dance with me." So much to my delight, when I came to this path, I found that dancing was a really good way to offer yourself up to the Lord. So I'm a big lover of the freestyle, and we're anxious because we have a beautiful dancer just, of course, walked by me, Radhanath. But if you will all, I don't know how to do this. If you all stand up, will you be able to see me? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to show you 4 particular things. Show first, yeah, because I'm pretty vertically challenged. Okay. So this one I believe this is sometimes called the Prabhupada sway. So you put your hands up and then you do a step, touch, and step, step. Sometimes I like to do a step, touch, and then double, because like this. Step, touch, and double. And then I like the advance and retreat. So if you're facing the deities, it goes something like this. You go a 1, 2, 3 offer, and a 1, 2, 3 back. A 1, 2, 3 offer, and a 1, 2, 3 back. And a 1, 2, 3 offer, and a 1, 2, 3 back. So far we have this dip. You're going to get fancy the double. Then you're going to 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2. Dancers only know when I count up to 3 or 4. And a 1, 2, 3. Then the side to side. And this one you can add a little turn to. So say I'm going this way, I'd go right, 2, 3, hop. Oh. So right, 2, 3, hop. You can get your head back everybody. And then if you're really fancy, on the 1, 2, 3, side to side, you can add in a spin. So it's right, left, right, for you. Right. Okay. So we'll call this the sway. We'll call this an advanced retreat, and we'll call this the 1, 2, 3 hop. What? Oh, remove the cushions, yeah. And you might want to take off your socks. You slide when you have socks on. And stack the cushions.
Govinda.
Yeah, maybe bags and stuff you move to the side.
Govinda? Yeah. I read she, yeah.
And Tiffany, I might be late coming down to serve. Alright, so here we go. So let's do it. Let's do the step, touch, step, so right away with the double. So we'll all start going to your left. Here we go. So step left, touch right, and touch and double, and step, and double, yeah, and step, and double, and step. Use up upper body now. Here we go. Step, yeah, and step up, and you're feeling it. I think we're ready now.
You ready? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktovrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Go Nitai go Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda, Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Nitai Gaur, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone together. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare. One last time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Jonathan. Give her a big round of applause. Thank you, Virabhadra Ram, for that drumming. Are you kidding me? Julie for the dancing. Whoa! Whoa, she just hit the floor. Wow! So thank you all so much. So lunch is going to be served now down on the second floor. You can do the same thing that you did for breakfast. If you have any questions for the question and answer session at 3:30, please get them to me by 3 o'clock. I want you to write them down. I don't care what you find, a piece of lint in your pocket, write it down. You come and bring it to me before 3 o'clock, and we'll be able to get those questions answered. And right after lunch, we're going to have, it rained a little bit, so it may or may not be on the roof. If it's not in the roof, which I don't think it's going to be right now, we're going to be down in the second floor yoga studio where we did the yoga class. So that's going to be starting right at 2:30. So that is the schedule of events for the rest of the time. Go ahead and have a wonderful feast downstairs. Thank you guys so much.